Hi, Preston here. Welcome back to CBX Motorworks. Well, not much to do tonight, so I thought we'd go ahead and show you how to put in a Dynatek Ignition system into the CBX engine. Okay, your spark units are going, you want to get rid of the old stuff, you want to go back to Dyna. So you go ahead and you purchase a new Dynatek Ignition. What do you get? Well, let's see. We got our pulsar coils, we got a reluctor, and ooh, you got a piece of red wire. Alright, so what are you going to do with these? How are you going to make it work? Well, tonight I'm going to show you the proper setup that I use in putting the Dynatek Ignition system into the CBX. So bear with me, I'm only one man here. I got to move your eyeballs around for you so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay? Well, first of all, you're going to have to make sure that you get your crank end cap cover off. And I put a little tray under to catch my oil. And pull your pulsar cover off. Okay, once you've got that, you're going to come in and you're going to get rid of your old pulsars. You've got 3 screws that hold the backing plate into place. You can get those out. Unplug your old pulsar and everything, and then you're going to pull it out of the way. No good no more, you don't need it. What are we going to do with this? Okay, we'll just set that. Don't drop it too hard. Okay, next, you got to take your advancer out. Okay, I've already loosened the bolt, obviously. And you want to save your flat washer and the holding nut, because you're going to reuse those. And you're going to pull your advancer out. Now, the old advancer has a reluctor on it. This reluctor is for picking up the timing and telling it when to spark. So, you're not going to use this piece. So what you're going to do is you're going to remove that. You've got 2 little springs hooked to get that removed. Okay, you're not going to need this, but you do need to retain the 2 springs. Those you're going to reuse. Okay. Also, you're going to reuse the actual advance unit. Alright. Now, if you look at your advance unit, where your springs hook on, okay, one of them has a indentation of a circle on it. Alright? With your Dynatek unit, your reluctor, you'll look around it and you'll also notice there's a magnet. Okay, now this magnet is what triggers the field coils and makes the unit spark at the proper time. So what you're going to do is this unit's going to go on where the magnet is indexed toward the flyweights or the post that your spring goes on. Okay? And get that in place. Okay? Now at this point, what you're going to do is you're going to end up hooking your springs back up. I'll usually, in order to do it easily, I usually go ahead and take and hook the spring onto my reluctor. Get it on there first. Now let's just take this off and clip it on. Bring it down. Get you located. Pull your flyweights out just a little. Get it in place, let it drop in place. Then take your spring and hook it on your post. Now, once you have your advancer built, what you should be able to do is hold the advancer, turn your reluctor clockwise, and you ought to be going against spring pressure. It must go clockwise against spring pressure. and snap back to a dead stop. Okay? Once that's done, your advancer's built. You go ahead and reset it in and index it. On the back side, you'll notice there's an indexer, and on the shaft you've got a little pin come out. They must mate. They must go together. Okay, secondly, the Dynatek Ignition system that we're using on the CBX. Okay. After talking to some people at Dynatek, I found out that the unit was not actually built for the CBX, but for a triple-cylinder two-stroke engine. Now, both of them have a 120-degree crank throw, which means that we can use it. But you need to modify it slightly. In being that the stock unit that they give us is not being able to be retarded enough to get the proper timing for a four-stroke CBX engine. Okay? The six-cylinder has to be timed just right. If not, you're going to have detrimental damage inside sooner or later. Probably become at the most inopportune time. Okay, there's two things that we need to do. One, the unit is about 99% fit into the cavity of the CBX. Okay, it will go in, it will lock down. But once it's in place and you try to make adjustments with it, it's a little tight. It can be moved, but it's a little tight. So what I do is I'll go ahead and I'll take a little bit of the circumference off of the outside, all the way around, so that it slides in a lot easier. Okay, secondly on the unit, we need to be able to retard a little bit more than what the unit allows. Now what I do is I'll go ahead and I'll take and where my set screws go, once this is in your clutch cover, you've got set screws that actually pinch it and hold it in place. It allows you, when you loosen the screws, of course, it allows you to rotate and either advance or retard your timing. Alright? Well, you cannot retard this unit enough to get down to the base timing on a CBX, which is 10 degrees before top dead center. Okay? At idle, that's where you need to be, 10 degrees before top dead center. Now, we're talking a stock engine. We're not talking turbo. We're not talking high performance or anything else. We're talking just a pure stock engine, 10 degrees before top dead center. Now, that's so stated on the service manual on page 3.6 and also on page, I think it's 17.1. Okay? Now, what I do is I open my windows up where my adjusting screw goes from 10 millimeters to approximately 20 to 25 millimeters. Okay? Now, this is an aluminum backing plate. It's a high-grade aircraft aluminum, so it's a little bit harder metal than, soft tin cans. But it can be machined. It can be filed. That works real good. I've done that before. The main thing you've got to do is make sure that you do not inadvertently chafe your wires. What I'll do is I'll take duct tape and I'll pull these wires away, lay a piece of duct tape over the top of them so that if my tooling happens to touch something, it's going to hit the tape first and warn me before I go through the covering in the housing of the tape, the insulation. So it's just simple as that. Make yourself a shield. Get it over there.